Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is time for the World Cup to kick off. Not long now left till all starts in Qatar. Really looking forward to it. Hopefully, as you can see behind me, got my England flag up, and hopefully the boys could bring it home. They've done well in the last two tournaments. Can they go that one step further and actually win the World Cup the first time since 1966? I'm going to predict all the teams I think will qualify leading up to the final, where I will announce who I think will win the 2022 Qatar World Cup. So let's start off with Group A. So this is how I think Group A will finish. I think Qatar will finish 4th and Ecuador will finish 3rd. So them two teams going home early. And then I think Senegal will finish 2nd, and then the Dutch will finish top of the group. So Group B, this is how I think it will finish. I think the two teams that will go home will be Iran and USA, and then in second place I think will be Wales, and then England topping the group. So Group C, I think it'll be Saudi Arabia in 4th, and 3rd I think it will be Poland, and Mexico finishing 2nd with Argentina in 1st place. Group D, I think it will be Australia in bottom place, Tunisia in second bottom, and then in second I think it will be Denmark, and then topping the group will be France. So into Group E, I think it will be Japan finishing bottom, Costa Rica joining them and going home as well, and then I think it will be Spain in second with Germany topping the group. So in Group F, I think it will be Canada finishing 4th, and joining them going home, I reckon it will be Croatia. I think Morocco will finish 2nd, and Belgium finishing in 1st place. Group G, I think it will be Cameroon finishing bottom, Serbia finishing 3rd, Switzerland in 2nd, and then Brazil topping the group. So in the final group, Group H, I think bottom of this group will be South Korea. I think 3rd will be Ghana. I think 2nd will be Uruguay, which will mean Portugal will top the group. So into the knockout stages, and if all them predictions were right, it would mean the first game would be Holland against Wales. And in this one, I think Wales would, do well. I think they'll be give Holland a good game, but I think Holland will come out on top. So yeah, I would go for Holland to get through to the next round. The second game would put England up against Senegal. I think we would definitely take that. Nothing against Senegal, decent team. They would give us a game, but I think England would be very happy if that was to happen. And yeah, I think we would beat them and qualify to the next stage. The third game would put Argentina up against Denmark, and I would fully expect Argentina to win this game. So yeah, I'll go with Argentina to beat Denmark to qualify to the quarterfinals. So the next game would put Germany up against probably the surprise teams come out of the group. I don't think many people would expect them to get out of the group, but yeah, I had a feeling they would. But I think this where it would end though, because it would put them against Germany, much stronger Germany team now. So yeah, I would expect Germany to beat Morocco to get to the quarterfinals. So the next game, an all South American tie, Brazil against Uruguay. Uruguay, some good players, and yeah, I think they can do well in this tournament. But if they were to get to Brazil in the next round, then it could be an early exit for them. Brazil, one of the favourites, and yeah, if this tie was to happen, I would go with Brazil to beat Uruguay to get to the quarterfinals. Next game is France against Mexico. I think this would be a lot closer than people would think. I think Mexico would give France a really good game, and I wouldn't even be surprised if they actually beat them. I just think with France's experience, they would just get over the line and beat them to get to the quarterfinals. So moving into the quarterfinals, and this is where we have the big games. This is where the competition gets interesting. All the big teams facing each other. And of course, only 4 teams will be able to qualify to the semi-finals. So the first game would put Argentina up against Holland, and this would be a great game to watch. You would have Messi against Van Dijk, you have Gakpo against Martinez, great midfields as well for both teams, so that would be a great battle, and this would be a really good game to watch. But I would go with Argentina to beat Holland to make it to the semi-finals. Next up, we put Germany against Brazil. Another tasty game, and also a game which Brazil will want to get revenge. We all know what happened, don't we, in 2014. Brazil on their home soil lost 7-1, embarrassing 7-1 defeat to Germany. One of the worst games probably in Brazil's history. And they'll want to get revenge on that. It's a much better team now, so I wouldn't expect that sort of result again. I'll be very, very surprised if anything like that happens again for Brazil. Germany will be a tough game though. Germany are a decent team, better than they have been, in the last couple of tournaments. But I would expect Brazil to beat them to get to the semi-finals. So next up, we'll put England against France. And again, another great game, like all these quarterfinals are. I think this will be tough for England. Of course, I want to say we'll get to the semis and obviously get to the final as well. But if I'm going to be honest with you, I think this is where it could end for England. And we'll look at that and think that's quite a bad tournament, because of course the last 2 tournaments we've got to the semis and final. So if it was to end in this quarterfinals, it'd be very disappointing for Gareth Southgate, of course, and maybe it could mean the end of him as well as England manager. Of course, I hope I'm wrong, but I just think this France team have got that good experience. Mbappe, Benzema, they're really strong. I think it'll be a close game, don't get me wrong. I mean, we could beat them. I'm not saying we couldn't beat them. But I just have a feeling if we were to get France, we would end up losing. I'm going to go for England to go out and France to go to the semi-finals. Next up, we would have Portugal against Belgium, and again, this would be quite an evenly matched game. Both teams have got some great players. Belgium have got De Bruyne, Tielemans in that midfield, and of course up against Portugal, in Fernandes, of course, Ronaldo. So I think this will be a really good game, but I would just say Portugal to just sneak through in this game. Portugal to make it to the semi-finals. So into the semi-finals, and the first game, and what a game this would be. Argentina against Brazil. One of the biggest games probably in the world. Big rivalry between both teams. Some great players on. You don't need me to say who plays for who, because you already. Brazil have got some world-class players, so have Argentina, and this would be a great game to watch. I would definitely tune in for this one, and it would, I'd love this to happen. Of course, it'd be a great final, but of course, the way it's worked out, or the way I've worked out, it will be in the semi-finals. Honestly, this would be so hard to call. This is probably one of the toughest games actually to call. I think out of so far, I think this is definitely the toughest one. I'm just going to say Argentina. I think Argentina will just get through and beat them, but it'll be really tight, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brazil won either, but I'm going to go just for Argentina to make it to the final. So the second semi-final would be France against Portugal. Can France get to back-to-back finals and of course back-to-back World Cup wins, or will Portugal be able to stop them and give Ronaldo a chance to win the World Cup in his last World Cup? Again, it's going to be really close to call, but I'm going to go with Portugal just to get through. Portugal to beat France to get to the final of the World Cup. So here we are, we have the final 2 teams in the final. We have Messi's Argentina up against Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal. What a final this would be, probably the dream final, if I'm going to be honest with you. Of course, I want England to get there, but if England weren't to get there, this would probably be the final that I wanted. And it's crazy how I've actually done my predictions, and these 2 teams have actually ended up playing each other in the final. Probably going to be their last World Cup for both of them, and for one of them to win the World Cup, I think would be great. They've both been brilliant players, and both of them deserve to win the World Cup really, but of course none of them have been able to do it before now. So one of them's gonna miss out, of course, and one of them's gonna, if this is the final, of course, then one of them will win the World Cup. Again, this will be so tight to call, but I'm gonna go for Messi's Argentina to beat Portugal in the final and win the World Cup. So yeah, my 2022 World Cup winners are Argentina. So that's what I think is going to happen in this World Cup. We'll see at the end whether I was right or wrong. I'm sure I'm not going to get every prediction right, because there's always that one team you don't expect to do well and they surprise you, and then there's also normally a team that you expect to do well and doesn't do too well. So it's going to be really interesting. Looking forward to all the games. Some great games there, even in the group stages, and of course after that in the quarterfinals, semi-finals, there's going to be some top teams up against each other. So looking forward to the World Cup now. The build up is so good, and just can't wait to get started now and get into the games. There's so much football to watch over this next 4 weeks, and hopefully it'll be a great tournament. But I'll be doing lots more content during the tournament. Especially the England games. I'll do all the pre-match England games and also do post-match reaction. And we'll also probably do other videos as well involving the other teams, especially in the later stages as well, when you see all the big teams facing off against each other. But in the meantime, give us a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.